WCF, what's the foolishness, is the situation where you have a web-based document library with built-in version control, access permissions, and all that kind of stuff. Yet people use that repository as though it's a file share.
Oh, are we really still talking about that?
We certainly are. So they don't use the native versioning system. Instead, you'll have a file called document draft, and then you'll have document draft with Fred's comments, and then you'll have document final published.
Yeah.
Now, my beef with that is that all of that can be handled in the document library's native versioning system. So say we're dealing with something like SharePoint. SharePoint's document library system enables you to keep track of all those versions and to use a single name for the document, whether it's a status report, portfolio pack. You use a generic title for it that is always correct, and you circulate the document as a hyperlink rather than an email attachment, and that hyperlink always points to the latest version of the document. And if you need to restore some stuff that was deleted and you didn't mean to delete it, then you just go back into the version history and you can either restore one of those versions to be the current latest version, or you can download a copy of one of those versions and create a new sort of document fork. If you do this thing where you have Meeting Pack and you're working on it for a while, and then you have Meeting Pack Final, if you did circulate that thing as a hyperlink, you've immediately broken it by putting the word final in the title.
Yeah, I think the fundamental issue is that people move from one place to another using what they know. And in the last 7 years, we've been through a lot of IT transformation upgrade projects that have implemented things like Microsoft 365. But there's been very little education given to the people who are using this day to day on what has changed and what extra features and functionality they now have available to them to make life easier. And that's partly because these projects, programs are just positioned as technology projects. We've done the upgrade. What does that mean to you as a person trying to do your work day to day? Very little, apart from, oh, my laptop now doesn't work because they've done an upgrade. So that is a fundamental, in my opinion. And I wonder, does it fall on the PMO? Is it one more thing potentially to add to the PMO's list alongside something like an induction or a program handbook or those kind of things that we do? That not only do we educate people in the standards, processes, frameworks that this organization or this program is using, but we also provide some kind of base level education in terms of how we will work. We can tell people this is where documents are stored, but unless we actually tell them, and we're going to use the version control, and we're going to check things in and out, we're going to make notes when we do a new version, all those kind of things, can we really blame them if they don't use them?
The old way of doing things does work. However, it represents a huge missed opportunity to make things more elegant, more streamlined. You miss an opportunity to slickify things by hanging on to those old ways. It occurred to me that if you send somebody an agreement for signing using an electronic system, so maybe they get sent an email and a link to the document, they sign it electronically and notifications get fired out and all that kind of thing, you can make that system work by printing out the agreement, physically signing it with a pen and ink, scanning the agreement and then emailing it back to the originator.
Or post.
Even worse, but it takes longer, it's less efficient, it uses paper and ink that you don't need to use. So it does work, but it's just so sad
It's a missed opportunity.
that you miss that opportunity. So I tried to explain some of the features of document libraries and how they work. And I said there's a few ways we can do this. We can either use major and minor versioning in the document repository, and we can restrict the visibility of those documents so that they only see the major versions. That's option number one. Option number two, we can create a custom field, which we call published question mark, and it contains the values yes, no. And we can group, we can sort, we can filter on that field in the document library view and easily see which things have been published and which things haven't. To which the answer came back, oh, I don't want to make things complicated. And I thought, well, is that making things more or less complicated than having 3 different versions of the same document with different names that you can't hyperlink to, and of which all but the most recent one will probably get hived off to some kind of folder folder called archived in about 6
Mm.
months, which makes them harder to find, just so that
Yes.
you can carry on using the techniques and approaches that you used in the 90s.
Doing it the way you've always done it.
Yeah.
And I suppose I am quite passionate about this as the toolbox person in terms of making life easier and taking advantage of the technologies that we have.
And using those technologies in the way that they're designed to be used to give you the
Designed,
benefits
yeah.
that they're designed to give you.
It's a tough one, especially when you work in change, when by its very nature you get a collection of people coming together who are coming from different knowledge bases. You can't even necessarily say it's a responsibility of the organization to teach people this if by nature it's a transient workforce who come from different places. It's a tough one.
I think it comes back to what you were saying about the implementation projects being seen as technology projects only. And I think what that means is that often the change management piece, the ways of working, the what's in it for me, all of that is missing from that pure technology rollout. And as a result, all that people see is the different laptop that's either better or worse, depending on your viewpoint. And you've lost your favorites, you've lost your shortcuts. It's a slightly different laptop. That's part one. And I think there's another aspect to it, which is that particularly cloud enabled software like Microsoft
Microsoft,
365
Google
evolves at such a pace that even the IT department, whose job it is to manage this stuff, can't keep up with the pace of development that's happening in those areas. And they don't know what the software is capable of and what the latest ways of working and approaches are to get the best out of that software. So the change management piece might be missing because they simply don't know what's
Yeah.
put in there.
Or you've gone down the route of implementing something along the lines of Microsoft 365, but a lot of the additional apps like Forms or the Power Platform, whiteboards are actually locked away from you
Yes.
because of a lack of understanding or a fear.
Yeah, it's a shame. Missed opportunity.
Really missed opportunity. And some, I would even venture, go down the route of buying other solutions for considerable cost and disruption, not realizing that they already had something that could have helped.
Yeah. So, for example, they might buy a dedicated Kanban board solution, not knowing that that thing is embedded and available.
And can be integrated seamlessly, natively across the rest of the suite.
And the same for instant messaging and a number of other things that used to be not available, but nowadays are often included in the standard Office software package. So what's the fix?
Better education. Who takes ownership of that?
But it's maybe something that the PMO can handle.
At least in the very basic level induction and how we do things around here.
Yes.